Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Whale Nerds podcast. This is episode number 58. My name is Slater, and I'm here with Eric and Katlyn.
Hey, guys.
Hello!
Nailed it!
Everyone's back together!
It only took 6 months.
We're all far apart, hundreds of miles apart.
Thousands for me.
Oh, yeah, thousands.
Again.
Yeah.
Thousands. Can you guys hear the fan behind me?
No.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Like, I can't. Can you, Eric?
Yeah, with headphones on, I can hear it, but I don't think it's that bad.
Oh. My computer's so old I can't use a mic or headphones. It doesn't, want to communicate properly.
Keep it on, dude. It's not that bad.
Oh, I like to
ruin
live in a
anything.
sauna. It's cool. It's only 80
Oh, yeah,
degrees. It's only
Slater's
94
broadcasting from
degrees.
his
All the reptiles back there are like, it's cold.
It's like it's straight up desert in that one. This one's in 84 degrees, and the room's like 90.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
It's 60-something here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was chilly today here, too, but my room's pretty warm from the sun. Now it's dark out, though, because I'm ahead of you guys.
Nice.
the weather in Monterey this week is just gonna get better and better and better.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
you picked
You have a
the
trip
warm-
this weekend.
warm- Yeah, you picked a warm weekend to come back, dude.
Adam Ernster freaking texted me like 2 days ago and was like, dude, the weather looks great on Sunday. And I was like,
Yeah.
I know, because I've been checking it since the last freaking year. So, yeah, the weather looks like literally it's like the highest it's going to get is 4 knots of wind, it says. So if that's that's the truth, it's going to be a nice day on the water.
It's going to be like your last October one.
Has it been pretty sunny in the afternoons or no, not really?
It's actually been pretty sunny here. The fog, we had consistent fog for almost like 2 weeks, and it finally kind of laid off. Yeah, the last 4 or 5 days or so. So it's gotten better. Yeah.
That's what everybody I've talked to in Monterey that lives there or works there or whatever has said that they've been like. I remember I talked to Danny a couple weeks ago and he said, "I can barely see my bow right now."
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but we still were able to find stuff. It was pretty good. Yeah.
I was gonna say I guarantee you still saw whales.
Yeah, we did the good old. Yeah, the passengers kind of freak out. They're like, "How'd you do that?" We do the whole listening thing. We shut down or we just like get as quiet as possible, and they're like, "That was amazing." So it's kind of cool to show off our ear skills.
I tell people that, when I'm down here or whoever I'm talking to, I'm like, yeah, but it's foggy in the summer. Honestly, though, we just shut the boat off and listen, and then next thing you know, we're watching 10 blue whales, and they're like, no, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we did it the other day. People were like, whoa.
Freaking Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
We've had to do that a few times this summer, but then we're also in the middle of the tuna fleet. So it's really stressful because then you're also listening and watching for like wakes and small boats and ugh.
Yeah. The funny thing is we say we're going to do that and like we tell passengers we're going to turn off the engine and get really quiet so we can hear the whales, and then you get some people who just like didn't get the part and then they start yapping. We just like look and I'm like, you're no help.
Yeah, at least on our boat you can stand on the bridge and even if people are talking downstairs you can't really hear them.
Yeah.
There's tons of commercial fishing boats, huh, when you're whale watching, Katlyn?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on like where the whales are, but this season we've been on like the northwest corner of Stellwagen Bank like all summer, and that's a hot fishing spot. So like there were days where there were, I'm not kidding, 25 to 30 boats on the radar and we couldn't see a single one because it was so foggy, and we were like, we know that we're surrounded for the next quarter mile, but like we can't see anybody.
What are they fishing for? Is it all the tuna fleet or something else? Really?
Yeah, out there it's tuna, and they sit on anchor for the most part. So at least that part is a little less stressful because they're not all zipping around. They're all just sitting there, unless they're fighting fish. But yeah, it's like it was so intimidating to look at the radar screen and be like, "There's so many boats, and I can't see any of them."
Do you see the boats from Wicked Tuna over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, right?
You do?
I've seen you post about it.
The actual ones in the show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so
no way.
We park at Rose's Wharf, which is where one of the fuel stations is. So some of the guys pull in there for fuel. But did you not see my Instagram story the other week?
Yeah, I saw it.
Roll?
I didn't see it.
So they're filming with a helicopter on like one of the last days they were shooting for this season that's about to come out.
Uh-huh.
and all the boats were in Gloucester Harbor on the outer harbor, and they were shooting from the helicopter. And I'm pretty sure they were trying to make it look like they were out on the bank, and they
Oh,
were
how
just like
funny.
cropped in really tight, and all the boats were sitting there together. So then we like got on the loudspeaker on our boat, and we're like, if you want to see how they film Wicked Tuna, all the boats are right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
It really blows my mind how they have wicked tuna, the crab fishing, you know what I mean? Like all these different fishing and like crocodiles. Like they have so many different shows. How is there not a whale watch show? Like it's just like
Yeah.
what?
This is, I think,
There's more
Monterey
drama
over
in
here.
whale watching than there is fishing, dude.
Exactly.
If
Yep.
someone that's on one of the production panels or teams of those shows is listening to our podcast, I want first dibs that you can make money
Been
off
saying it
of
for
this.
years,
Like, this
yeah.
is my $1 million idea.
Just listening to our radio traffic some days, you know, would be people would pay to listen to some of the stuff they
Like, you know
hear out
how,
there.
like, Deadliest Catch, they sometimes have to, like, make up drama?
You don't have to make
There
it
would
up
be
here.
no need for that. It's plenty of organic material.
Like
Yeah.
you may think that it's all whatever blue skies and whales, but there's a lot more on the inside of the whale industry than there is just the whale watching part of it.
We won't name names, but I'm just saying, if you want to make a lot of money, just let me know.
Just literally right there at Fishman, could be a whole show itself.
Well, and Moss Landing could be its little sister show.
Yeah.
Or they could, argue back and forth between those two. Little
Yeah.
and
We
then
can
Santa
throw in our
Cruz comes all the way over. Oh my God, there's two of our whales. I'm just kidding.
yeah. We can
There's-
throw in our Santa Cruz buddies.
The thing is, there's so many whales in that bay. You really don't have to like fight over whales or something. Like,
You don't have to, most days.
Yeah. Eric, are you there?
Oh, he
Eric-
froze.
Eric's
I thought
frozen
he
with
was
a big
just
old smile.
smiling at us because he didn't want to say anything. Oh no.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
I hope so. What happened to him?
So did you whale watch it this week?
I have not been out since Friday.
Weather?
Yeah, they went out today, but today was like my scheduled day off, and I heard they got their butts kicked.
Nice.
So,
I went out today and shot photos of a yacht that they're selling. And it was nice to be on the water, but I did not see any animals. I honestly didn't really even look.
well, pretty soon it'll be gray whale time.
That's like still 3 months away or 4 months.
Oh, it's true. It comes so much later in Southern California.
And we're not even gonna, not even that. They're not even gonna
Oh,
show
no,
up.
Boston.
They're not even gonna show up until like February here. Because even on the southbound migration, they like really bend it offshore and then hook it in towards Dana. So a lot of times you miss them in Newport.
Yeah.
But February, you get tons of whales.
Hi.
I'm back. I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
You were smiling for a long time.
Oh.
We thought you just didn't have a comment based on our conversation, and then we realized you were frozen.
No, yeah, you sounded like robots, and then all of a sudden everything just stopped. I don't know what happened.
Eric,
Uh-huh.
Katlyn, to fill you in, Katlyn didn't go whale watching this week. It's bad weather, and today's her day off anyways. And what's it called? Did you go whale watching this week?
Yeah, I've been watching pretty much every day as usual. Yeah, every day. Little humpback whales. Humpback whales, humpback whales. Humpback whales, yeah.
I've heard some blue
It's
whales.
that time of year.
Too.
They were actually inside the bay, and then we had like 2 inside the bay, and then
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll fill it in. I think there was a couple blue whales in the bay, but yeah, they were a little far. So I didn't get very many looks at them, but I know some other boats did. All right, well, Eric's back, so we can finally talk about life on our planet.
go for it.
Who wants to go first? About it last episode. He said he cried.
Yeah, at night and in the day. It's such a good documentary.
I mean, I took notes. I don't know if you want to go first, Eric.
You heard what I talked about earlier.
No, I know you said you think it's like a lot of documentaries, but how could you say that? Because this one's about David Attenborough's life.
Yeah, but I mean, it's from his point of view, and the thing is about some of the thing is like happening so fast right now. You don't have to be an older guy like David Attenborough to actually see it. Kind of like what me and Slater, what we were talking about before we recorded, like just from a me seeing like a fish standpoint. I'm seeing like the number and sizes of certain fish in our area shrink. So obviously our ocean is being impacted and stuff like that. So it's no longer like it has to be an old man to tell you, "Well, back when I was a kid, to see these changes." I mean, there's younger people who can see these changes. And who knows, like even a lot of the changes we're seeing out in our ocean, even for us whale watching people, as far as like species not being seen frequently anymore, in a certain areas, you never know. I mean, it could be due to climate change. It could be due to our Pacific decadal oscillation. You never know. It's no longer a thing that seems to be happening slowly. It's obviously as humans accelerating all these changes, whether it be environmental. Well, environmental also includes our animals and all that's good stuff. In fact, someone I was just talking to some of my old Southern California buddies. Remember when Southern California was the blue whale hotspot off of Long Beach,
Yeah,
Orange
like
County
almost
and stuff
10
like
years
that?
ago now.
Yeah, and look, what happened to like Delta? Remember Hook used to always be there. Nacho, I can name all of them.
Yeah.
And then like literally one year,
Even fin whales too.
yeah, yeah. So it's something that I
I
don't
don't
know.
even I don't even know if Newport even saw a blue whale this summer. I think they saw like a two or like, but way off or like way up the coast or down the coast, not like just in Newport Beach.
Yeah,
Where Newport was like definitely one of the top hot spots in Newport Canyon and then especially out by the oil rigs for the blue whales.
yeah.
I know that they didn't see very many whales like the entire like they had a great June I think in July for some reason with some humpback with one humpback that
Mhm.
twitched with like the messed up fluke, and
Yeah,
then they didn't see him for like I don't know. August, September was like really bad, and then now this month, which every October it seems like they get humpbacks back in Newport again. Now they have
yeah,
like three of them.
yeah.
Bless
But
you.
but it seems
Hey, I
like
muted my mic. How do you know I sneezed?
I could still hear it.
but yeah, the shows on Netflix, there's just so many on environmental issues, and I understand people want the message, to be blasted out there, but
Yeah.
it's scary. It's like people don't listen. One thing I'm really worried about is like how well, I'm going to probably get a lot of hate for this. There's so many people out there who say, I love whales, but all they love is like orca and stuff like that. And all they care about is sudden
Yeah.
resonance. It's like, you guys remember the vaquita? I can count how many vaquita there are probably on one hand.
Hmm.
We should be prioritizing that. But I've
It
honestly,
is hard though, I think, for the vaquita because none of
yeah,
us can go down there and get photos of them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like if I knew I could spend $1,500 to fly down there and get a
yeah,
photo of a vaquita, I would for
yeah,
sure go and do that. But it's just like it
yeah,
could probably cost you $10,000 to maybe see one,
yeah.
if maybe.
And every other whale watching trip, I bring up the vaquita, and there's always someone that goes, "What's a vaquita?" And
Oh yeah, easy.
that really sucks. And the first thing that person asks on board is usually, how many times do you see orca? Are we going to see orca? It's like,
Yeah,
it's
it is suck. It does suck because and you know why? Like it's the same reason we get so excited to see. Like you gotta think that like killer whales are definitely one of the most. I still feel that way about blue whales too. It's just tougher to get someone to be like, look at that blue whale because they only get to
yeah,
see 10%. They're not like looking at it how we are. Like that is the biggest animal ever to live on this planet. Like for sure. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I feel like the older generations of people that come on the boat appreciate the blue whale
Yep.
even if they don't see it fluke. And like a lot of people that are like, 50, 60 years old and older that come on the boat and see a blue whale will say, "Oh, well, when I was a kid, they told me I would probably never see one." And
Yeah,
so
I've
I
heard
think
that
they
yeah,
from people.
like
yeah,
that gets people going, but like the younger generations who like had no I didn't get that message as a kid or like it's such an abstract thing to look at. Like in general, blue whales are usually pretty boring and like only flukes sometimes, right? Like, people are,
Yeah.
are we gonna see blue whales today? And in my back of my mind, I'm like, I hope we only get like 1 or 2 looks at one, and then we go watch something more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, check
And
it
that's
off
just
the list.
it's just because you want to keep the people's attention, you know.
Yeah, because they're generally, pretty boring animals. Occasionally, I've seen blue whales do amazing things. So have you guys. But most of the time, when you see a blue whale, you see
Bring it
it's
up.
back forever,
Yeah.
a tiny dorsal fin, and then it's gone.
I mean, it's almost like people need to start being aware that loving one thing is not going to save the planet. You got to think of it as a whole. Even like Slater brought up a long time ago. Slater, remember when we went shooting? We wanted to go photograph deer and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you literally put up a photo of a deer, and people are like, "Stick to whales, bro." It's
Oh
like
yeah,
we
the bear
can't.
photo is the one that someone said
Yeah,
stick to whales.
we like, we
And I
can't
was
do
like,
that,
oh no,
guys.
I'm not allowed to love all of nature. Sorry.
Exactly.
And
If we're
sadly, I've
gonna,
only built my page around whales
yeah,
to this
but
day. So
I know you love other things. I personally have taken you. Look at you now. Look, literally right behind you. You love reptiles and stuff like that. But there's
yeah.
people who literally like just care about, like, you're not going to save the planet that way, guys. We gotta care about everything out there.
Yeah.
Forest honestly seems like it's way worse off right now than the ocean. Although it's only because we can't see the ocean, like we
Yeah.
can't look through the ocean.
Yeah.
I was listening, Eric, that podcast I texted you about the other day, Future Ecologies.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
It's a really good podcast. It's on my recommendation list for this episode. But I was listening to one about the coast manzanitas in California, and they literally have like one left of this one variety of manzanita, and the guy who's in charge of like curating it and coming up with a like reproduction plan for it is like, I'm so much more optimistic about this plant than if I were to work on the ocean. And I was like, are
Really?
you kidding?
Oh, that's sad to say. Yeah. That's so funny you mentioned that.
How can
Yeah.
you be so optimistic? You have one plant. Like, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, fortunately, this is a less complex problem to solve than if I worked on the ocean. And I was like, okay.
Jeez.
Thanks for that.
Speaking of the southern residents and how it is like a species that's highly, promoted to save. They, I believe there's like a talk coming up. I don't know if it just happened or it's this week or what, but it's on putting like a lot of moratoriums and stuff on them this next year.
Well, how about a moratorium on salmon fishing?
Yeah.
How about a conversation about dam removal?
No.
Yeah.
It's so funny that like they're just annoyed of the whale watch communities because they always have eyes on the animals and they know too much. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was basically a moratorium on whale watching this year because of COVID, and nothing, like, it didn't help, I wouldn't say.
No. Yeah, the only thing it helped was us not getting, more documentation of them.
Well, the thing is that they I don't know, they blacklisted the whale watchers, and they don't realize that it's literally the whale watching boats and the whale watchers who are spreading the word out there to save these animals. And
they're keeping an eye on them.
Exactly. Yet there's some government agencies who want to, make it look like the whale watchers are the or the bad guys. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Eric,
one intense situation that I'm not sure I would be willing to go into and participate in that industry. Like, I love killer whales. I love the Pacific Northwest. But if everyone's just going to keep playing this game of blame the whale watchers, blame the boaters, and not get serious about the real issue, which is the poor salmon stocks, like, I feel like you're wasting your breath.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny because the first thing when I saw that, I was like, God, I want to move up there and promote the hell out of whale watching and say, like, you can still go, you can still see transients, you can still see, hard porpoise, Dall's porpoise, minke whales, humpback whales, eagles, deer, like so many things in the Pacific Northwest from the water.
Mm-hmm.
That you should still go there because I know it's going to hurt them because people say like, oh, you have to stay a half mile away from them or a mile in certain areas or whatever it is. They're going to think that's people don't read. They read like the headline and they don't read that that's just on southern resident killer whales. You know what I mean?
Well,
so they're going to be like, oh, no whale watching up there.
I would still love to go whale watching there, but I don't think I have the bandwidth to be involved like as a part of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, that's got to be so exhausting. Like, more power to the people that are fighting the good fight up there, but like, oh, I don't envy them.
It's got to be tough.
For sure.
Well, because
okay, so I had some thoughts on life on our planet, and Eric, you're right. I think that at this point you don't have to be in your 90s to notice that things are changing on our planet rapidly. Things are changing to the point where kids can even notice that things are going on.
Yeah.
And I think, it was kind of like, well, how the hell did we get here, Like, and he said, the wild was for a time, or the wild was far from unlimited. It was finite. And people really didn't understand that. I mean, I think people really still don't understand that. By the 1970s, when they first tried to document, everything around the world and put it out to the world, it was already, wildlife was becoming noticeably scarce. And then during that time when he was talking about the Save the Whales movement, there was a quote that he said, "We have pursued animals to extinction many times in our history, but now that it was visible, it was no longer acceptable."
Yeah.
So in some ways, I think, maybe even though everybody's repeating the same message and there's lots of content about the decline of our planet, it's like we've got to find a way to reach people. And so far, we're not getting them all. So maybe it's not a bad thing to oversaturate something like Netflix, and just inspire people to save something,
Yeah.
But
all we can do is really show the most positive highlights of them, because like showing them get slaughtered isn't very motivating. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, we've talked about that on seriously 10 episodes probably.
I mean, it motivates some people, but I don't think you're going to capture a wide audience the right way with that kind of footage.
Now, you need like something heartwarming, like they show that orangutan in the tree with its mom, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And one of the quotes he said also, which is kind of like, to us, it's like, well, duh. But I feel like people don't grasp this, is anything that you cannot do forever is by definition unsustainable.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Oh.
He said that when they were cutting down all the trees for oil harvesting.
Yeah. The one thing, I mean, he made it simple. I mean, I like how he showed the population going up, I like that
The slide.
The O2 tally too, because I remember being at San Diego. I mean, I remember even when I was in school, it's never going to break 400, and then next thing you know, here we are, and that's the norm now,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and when he said that quote, I kind of like thought about that for a few minutes. I kept pausing the movie, which kept driving Slater crazy because he thought I was done with it, and I was like, I have 20 minutes left, and he was like, ah!
I called her and I was like, are you freaking done with this thing yet or what?
But one of the things I wrote is, I mean, my blanket thought is any extractive industry that requires government subsidies to survive, that just needs to go. Cut the cord. There are a lot of aspects of our agriculture industry, our fishing industry, oil and gas. Those are all getting government subsidies. Like, my tax dollars are going to subsidize these industries that are like having the worst practices possible.
Yeah.
And then I think the only statistic that really like blew my mind was that by weight, only 4% of mammals on Earth are wild animals. The rest are us and our food.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
To me, that was insane. Like, by weight, we only have 4% of wild mammals left. I mean, that includes whales, right? Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, did they weigh them properly though? Because I mean, they're in the water.
I didn't see a big scale out there. I'm not sure if they did.
Know. There sure are a lot of us and a lot of animals that we eat, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts. And he called it, it's like a series of one-way doors, and I think that's a good way to put it, is that we keep opening these doors and closing them behind us, and we can't reopen them. And I liked his concept, and this is something that's been growing in popularity of rewilding the world, but also that we need to make healthcare accessible for everyone, raise the standard of living for more people, keep girls in school longer, and follow the Earth's prompts with this biomimicry concept of like the Earth powers itself.
Yeah.
Without digging up dead dinosaurs.
What's funny is someone else brought up that healthcare thing too. Not many people get that theory that prevention is cheaper than treatment, you know?
Way cheaper. Well, and it's pretty monumental what happens when you keep girls in school longer too. When you look at some of the case studies from the Middle East and from Africa, you know, entire villages, their lives are transformed when you keep the girls in school longer. And then, you know, healthcare also becomes a priority. So, you know, we got to, it's like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like if people are going to get to the top of the pyramid and start to think outside of their own needs, we've got to provide those baseline needs for them so that they can have the bandwidth to tackle problems like conservation.
Yeah.
If someone's worried about putting food on the table and paying their medical bills, they don't give a hoot about, you know, burrowing owls or earthworms or cactus, you know?
Yeah.
So true.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, and in all honesty, as far as like people needing to give up things and change their lifestyle, we're talking about a fairly small group of people on the planet that need to learn to live with less. When you look at how many people live at what income threshold on the planet, we're talking about a pretty small group of people that need to step down their lavish lifestyle.
Yeah.
So those are some of my thoughts. And then also, you know, even if we don't understand the importance and the function of every single species, I think we have this overwhelming evidence that biodiversity is the key to how our planet functions. And so things like the vaquita, I might not be able to tell you the exact ecological niche that it fills in the Gulf of California, but I can tell you that it's like pulling on a string. You know, if you lose the vaquita, it's just going to all start to unravel up there.
Yep.
A lot of species, we don't know what their function was until they're gone. And then what do you do?
Exactly.
How many species do you think are like in the in the deep that have gone extinct that we never even saw, but have like in the last 50 years? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I was in
Guarantee there's
elementary
gotta be
school, they
some.
said that about, you know, insects in the Amazon.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess Australia has like the most extinct mammals on the planet. Like they've lost so many mammals there.
Yeah. This is totally kind of off track, but Slater just brought up something I should probably remind our listeners. Noah's Nautilus is off of the Central Coast right now doing live feeds again. So
Oh, nice.
Cool. They did. They were up north of me at least, and now they're off of more towards the Channel Islands. So if you guys are bored, check out. Go on Google, search Nautilus, RV Nautilus. It's Noah's research vessel that has a ROV that's doing live feeds, and they're actually going down there, recording everything, and actually like describing everything. So it's actually fun to watch. It's really cool.
Yeah, they've made some actual pretty cool discoveries during the last few broadcasts they did. They found octopus garden.
Yeah, I was actually telling
the whale fall. Yeah.
The whale fall. Yeah, I was actually telling someone back when I was at the Aquarium of the Pacific, we used to link up with the Nautilus and Okeanos and do almost like a talk show with them. And that year when I was there, they actually made discoveries literally, you know, while they were broadcasting. And what's cool is, you know, that satellite feed, they'd see something, they're like, oh, cool, it's a nudibranchs. They're like, no one knows about nudibranchs here. They would literally call that person. They literally call them and they're like, hello. They're like, literally woke them up, you know, and they're like, hey, click on the feed, you know, tell us what this is. And sometimes it was literally like, I've never seen this before. This might be new. It was so cool. So
yeah, I think that's awesome that they like same thing with the whale fall. I think they didn't really have any experts when they discovered it, so they called in some people.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Slater just reminded me, yeah, there's so much stuff on the bottom of the ocean that is probably gone and we didn't even know it's there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a fair point to make. And I think his parting quote on the film was, "The living world will endure. We humans cannot presume the same." And it just kind of reminded me of the book The World Without Us. I don't know if either of you have read it. But it's basically about like, it's like a forecast of like what the planet will look like 20 years after humans are gone, 50 years after humans are gone, 100 years, it goes down the line, looking at how at first things in regards to our infrastructure will like have a total meltdown, like nuclear power plants and sewers and water, with all the infrastructure we've built, but then it doesn't take very long for things to rewild themselves, just like those clips of Chernobyl, which is kind of what I think the inspiration was for how it would look.
Yeah.
So life on our planet.
Eric, did you like the part where they said in Palau they shut down 1/3 or 3/4? Yeah, 1/3, right?
Yeah.
Of the fishing areas, and then it ended up coming back so strong that it spilled into all the areas that you could fish.
Yeah.
I also thought it was cool when they talked about the Netherlands and their like hydroponics, and how I didn't realize they're actually the second largest exporter of food in the world, and they're one of the smallest countries by landmass.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember, you guys remember the rubbing beach live stream with the killer whales? And
like it's not live all the time.
Yes, it's like live, but it's
live.
playing, and it's like an octopus goes by, a harbor seal, a killer whale. You're like, oh my god!
Red dot and says live. I feel like I'm so cheated by that.
Katlyn got really mad. I had to like point it out to her. I'm like, Katlyn, this is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, they're off the Channel Islands, the Nautilus live cam.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yes.
They got Hercules out there right now in Argos. Yeah.
Are they on a dive right now, Slater, or are they just
like?
Oh, cool.
I'm looking at a rock right now. There's like a I don't know what those are called. There's like they look like little red crabs.
Yeah, I've been clicking on it the last few days, and like every now and then, I mean, one day they were like 3,000 feet deep, and you're still seeing like bottles down there and stuff like that, And,
they have little hands. I wonder if they can pick up trash while they're down there.
They can pick up stuff. They can sample stuff. They wanted to do a micro plastics survey too. What's really neat is I also had to describe to someone. You might notice like towards the middle of the screen, there's like 2 dots that are always there.
Oh yeah, that's to measure stuff.
Yeah, the
green ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're set at a certain distance, so it's hard to tell, what the actual size of something is by looking through the screen. So those are there for reference. But yeah, it's
cool. There's like little urchins and lobster carapaces.
What is that thing? A sea feather?
It might be a sea pen.
Yeah, it looks like you could draw with that thing like they used to in the old days.
Like a feather pen.
But yeah, that's been something fun to watch.
So it looks like they're at the sponge gardens and coral colonies off of the south slope of Anacapa. Is what it says.
Yeah.
Cool.
Eric, are you going to be there on Sunday or what?
Yep. Yeah, that's why I texted you last night. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be getting the boat ready for you, and then we'll go find whales and cool stuff.
Yeah. I want lunch feeding at sunset. Thanks. Bye.
Bro.
Yeah,
that's not even that much to ask for, Katlyn.
Yeah. Yeah, fall's always a good sunset time, so we'll see.
My last October, oh my god, you know what's so funny? 2017 was like by far the best year that I had in Monterey. Well, my first year was pretty good there too, but like where I actually was pretty much full time, on Discovery on the water.
Yeah.
Because we had like killer whales a lot, blue whales. We had sunrise trips, sunset trips. We did a lot in 2017, but it's funny because October and November on all my years in Monterey, except for 19, I don't even know if I was in Monterey that time, but all of those days are like lunch feeding humpbacks, killer whales, like beautiful water, like beautiful weather. Yeah, October, November is by far some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, I was looking at
my favorites.
Yeah, I was looking at some of my logs and photos, and yeah, I think some of my best trips were November. November has been pretty good.
Yeah, I was actually just looking through your October all-day trips photos, my photos from that day. We had more lunch feeding than I remember, but we had a great trip. We had blue whale, we had dolphins, we had lots of Rizzos. We had
Slater. Is your Slater has a October trip too, right?
No,
you sold
November.
out?
My
November?
October
Oh,
one
yeah.
sold out. My November one has 5 spots. 5 spots left for November 8th. The time changed. You know the time changed?
I thought it was Halloween weekend is the time change.
Yeah, November 1st. So I had to move the trip. Like the trip's gonna leave at 8 a.m. instead of 10 a.m.
Oh,
Because
okay.
if I wanted to end at sunset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do want it to end at sunset. Oh, they're plucking something. They just took the C thing. He's gonna sign something right now with it.
Picking up the C pen and they're gonna sign their names with it.
Look at it. That little crab thing is like, what are you doing, bro? What are those?
Oh,
That's
cool.
funny.
They're like squat lobsters.
Yeah, they look like the pelagic red crabs, but
Yeah.
a little bit different. So they must be a different kind of squat lobster.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it was good to talk to all of you again.
What? I have more news.
Oh, what's your news?
There's a lot more news, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
that's
have more news.
insane.
So
I just signed him off. My wife goes, "Wow, you just signed him off, huh?" I'm
like,
getting intrigued by this
I'm
video.
done. Bye.
Slater's like, I gotta watch him sign their name with the pen.
I
Gotta
know.
go.
Might be the
Eric,
first time anyone's done it.
Yeah. Watch. Now Slater's gonna get hooked on watching the Nautilus all night.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what came across my news feed yesterday is that Maui County actually just filed a lawsuit against the 20 fossil fuel firms on Monday. So they filed a liability claim trying to hold the fossil fuel industry accountable for their role in delaying action on climate change. And Maui is actually the third county in Hawaii. Wow, I am tripping over my words. To file such a suit. So the county is alleging that the major petroleum corporations, including BP, Chevron, ExxonMobil, executed a decades-long campaign to downplay the climate risks of their products in order to delay regulation and maximize profits. And so after having their hottest year on record and then their worst wildfire season last year, and then also dealing with the issues of rising seas and shoreline structures being lost and damaged, and Maui County taxpayers having to pay for that, for all those expenses dealing with coastal erosion and fires and things like that, which they're estimating is billions of dollars worth of spending to deal with. They're going to try and pass that on to the fossil fuel corporations. So they have, let's see, it has more than 3.2 billion in assets at risk of inundation from sea levels rise by the year 2100. And they project that 2,000 residents will be displaced by rising seas by that same year. So pretty interesting. I didn't realize that different counties in Hawaii were starting to sue the fossil fuel companies. So in March, Honolulu County also did the same thing and brought a civil suit or a liability suit against the fossil fuel industry. So if we can't shame them into doing the right thing, I guess everybody's going to sue them, because in California, the crab industry also sued the fossil fuel companies for their domoic acid years where they lost their seasons because the ocean was too warm and the crabs were toxic.
Dang.
Crazy.
You know what's crazy is I'm surprised that like insurance companies don't sue them. Because then they got to fork up all their money.
Having to pay out claims on all the damages that are fueled by
fire and stuff. Yeah.
But insurance companies are also starting to compartmentalize their packets. So wildfire is different than a standard house fire when it comes to insurance. That's kind of a scam to deny your claim. So you have to buy wildfire insurance in addition to, fire insurance that's normal in your homeowner's policy, because they're just as scandalous, in my opinion, as the fuel company.
Well, funny.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting that now counties in the U.S. are starting to say, "Hey, you're costing us billions." But the other thing that's so wild to me is that when I lived in Maui, the power plants are fueled by diesel for part of the island. Like they ship tankers over with diesel, deliver it on the, Kahului side of the island, truck it over to the Ma'alai side of the island, and pump it into that power plant right there by the harbor. I mean, we have the wind turbines and we have solar fields. It was 30% renewable on the island, but the rest of it was oil getting shipped to us.
Yeah. I wonder how.
Not only are you using oil, you're shipping it over to yourselves.
Yeah, I wonder how different counties are, pushing these claims and I wonder if certain areas can strengthen their case by saying, especially being on an island or by the coast, sea level rise and stuff like that. You can always push more. So I wonder if certain areas have a little bit have an easier or more of a stronger case, being in a certain area.
Yeah, well, part of the news coverage on the Honolulu case also mentioned damage from hurricanes. So it would be interesting to see if the Gulf Coast states start
pull that off
and say something. I kind of don't think they will, just based on
they can't. Yeah,
but...
exactly. That might backfire on them.
But at the same time, maybe it'd be a refreshing change that they really do need.
Yeah, the Gulf Coast is, that's a touchy area.
Because the Gulf Coast makes a lot of money off of fossil fuels, but they're also bearing the brunt of worsening hurricane seasons, and that costs a lot of money as well.
Yeah, very true.
So,
did you guys, since I missed the last episode, did you guys talk about Cuviers yet? I think that's old news by now.
No, we didn't talk about it.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Well, do you have the number of minutes on you?
3 hours and 42 minutes.
Yeah, almost
That's
4
official.
hours. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, so 2 hours and
record.
2 hours and 17 minutes just got obliterated. Yeah.
Where did they tag it?
I don't know. I completely forgot. I have the articles here somewhere. Let me see if I can pull them.
Wait, what do you mean they got obliterated?
So
217 was the old record. Now it's 342
for dive time.
What is 342 minutes?
3 hours
42 minutes.
What? Imagine I can hold my breath for 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Oh no, this is a really old article. Where's
Yeah.
the blood?
I don't know. I have it here somewhere. I just can't find it.
I found the news article.
Where did I put it? Probably put it in my wildlife folder.
The people are from Duke University that they interviewed. That's not necessarily helpful.
I know it's been a rumor for a while now that we knew, that researchers were tagging whales that were going 3 hours, but yeah, it just finally took them the official. Oh, it's in my Marman folder.
I have the pulled up too. Go ahead.
It took them, just now to officially release the paper,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Cuvier?
Yeah, Cuvier's again. Where did they tag this guy?
Wow, wait. I'm trying to pull up the full PDF.
Yeah, that will give the location. But there is, I think I read the something in the abstract was saying that they're, how we always say they would stay on the surface longer to recover after a longer dive. They're saying with Cuviers, it's not even. They'll just go right back down.
Yeah, we found no relationship between the longest 5% of dive durations following an inner deep dive interval.
Oh yeah. So you found that part? Yeah. I was like, damn. Oh, okay. Here's the paper. Blah blah blah.
I keep looking for the PDF, but I think I'm supposed to pay for it. So.
Why do we have to pay for science?
That's stupid.
It says
Wait, download.
Who withholds science from people?
It says Sea Shepherd Conservation Society on YouTube. Never before seen drone footage of Cuvier beaked whales in 2017. I feel like that's false.
Did it come from the Gulf of California? There was a project going on down there.
Oh, is it just because it was in that area? Because I know some people that have filmed Cuviers here.
Yeah, and I've seen in Azores.
I've seen drone footage of bears. I don't know if I've seen drone footage of Cuviers for Monterey.
You know, I saw some guy saw Cuvier just the other day in what's it called? Catalina.
Oh, cool.
He sent it to me. He's like, "What the heck are these things, dude?" He's a fishing boat. Isn't that crazy? The 216s were seen 2 times recently with the white killer or the gray killer whale.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah, they were way up there. Yeah, or way down
Oh,
there.
yeah. I did see those
I
reports.
think it was actually really close to like
Catalina, wasn't it?
No, it was basically straight out behind Catalina, closer towards what's it called though? Santa Barbara Island, but
Santa
still
Barbara
like
Island?
way offshore, yeah. Oh,
Probably.
this guy's taking something from the ocean floor again. What is it?
Is it your sea pen? Your sea?
No, it's a sea tree. He almost
Oh, I
just
think
knocked a
it's
piece of coral off.
probably a coral. I'm looking at different news article and I can't find where this whale was.
Yeah, they just mentioned Duke, but for some reason they're not talking about the location where they tagged it. Wow,
Let's-
they're pretty shallow for an ROV right now. It's about 1,200.
Oh, it tells you the depth.
Yeah, on the right hand side of the screen, this is live data. So Hercules is at 1263 right now.
Where are they? Are they trying to get the bigger piece on the top or a little piece of that red fan?
I don't know. And then Argus
No,
is
the little piece on the red fan.
Oh.
yeah, Argus
Okay,
is
well, we'll have to get back to everyone with the beaked whale location because we can't find it. If everybody could just like make their science free, that'd be cool.
I know. Who withholds science from people? Who would do that?
Unfortunately,
Scientists.
more people don't realize. Yeah,
I'm
good
just-
answer, Slater. Scientists.
I'm just being a jerk. I just thought you guys would get what I'm trying to say. But
No, I
forget.
did. I did get it.
Wink, wink.
We always get it, Eric.
You're on audio only, Eric. You can't wink at us.
What's funny is I'm still like doing things even though I'm on audio only.
I know you can't see me, but I'm still making faces at you.
I'm still making
Or
faces
still
and doing
smiling.
hand gestures and smiling. And
Eric or Slater, did we talk about the beluga last episode? I can't remember.
Which
The
one? The
dead
one I was seeing down
beluga?
here?
Yeah, so there was the sighting of the live beluga whale in San Diego
Yeah.
in June? In July?
It's pretty cool.
I was driving across the country, I think, because Jamie texted me and I was driving and I saw the text like go through on the how I had my GPS mounted. And so when we stopped for gas, I was like, no way. And then I looked it up and I was like, whoa.
It probably just got let go out of SeaWorld.
or it was one of the military ones.
military ones, people think.
But then there was a beluga found dead in Mexico like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, over there by
Oh,
Scannon.
that's probably
Yeah.
the same one.
Yeah.
They think it is because the pec fin has that same little turn in it. So, yeah.
Yeah, so wherever it came from, it obviously couldn't find enough food, so bummer.
Yeah, it probably doesn't know how to forage in our seas down here.
I mean, I have faith that it probably could find squid, but maybe not what it, is used to eating.
Man, if it stayed alive longer, it would have been hanging out with gray whales down there.
Can you imagine? The gray whales are like, what? How did you get
Whoa,
down here?
did you follow us?
That's
You're
true.
not
The gray
supposed
whales.
to be here.
Yeah, that's very true. The gray whales would be like, "Hey, what are you doing
Yeah.
down here?"
They might even speak together. They might even be friends. You don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure up in the feeding grounds, they like pass each other by. Maybe
Yeah.
the gray whales like they're singing because the belugas are like the canaries of the sea.
There was Dana Wharf had a northbound gray whale a few days ago.
I saw.
Yeah, they did in Newport too.
Yeah, it's not unheard of. I mean, I still remember having even like summer gray whales, June, July whales every now and then. Creepy.
That thing was just like getting drunk in Mexico for the last few months. He's like, screw it, I ain't leaving this year.
No, it's nice.
He's like, he's probably just like, I'm just gonna have to keep coming back down here anyways, I'll just
But
stay.
there's no food.
There is though, I guess. Like he thinks the guy that I was talking to, he said he thinks they feed there every year.
Well,
They always
where I was, they said, they see the whales trying to feed, but they don't think they're actually getting anything.
Yeah, but they must. Why would they waste all that energy though, They're pretty smart about not wasting energy, aren't
Yeah,
they?
it's probably a little bit. I mean, they're getting snacks, but
I doubt there's
yeah.
there's like it's abundant for sure because the water's not as cold, but I don't
It'd
know.
be
They must be getting
interesting to
food.
see like what lives in the sand in the lagoons. Like if they are scooping up the sand, are they actually getting anything? You know,
Yeah.
scallops.
I guess isn't there like pistol shrimp down there, Eric?
Pistol shrimp are pretty widespread. Yeah, there'll be some there.
Well, the guy was telling me that it's so loud in the water
Mhm.
in there, like when the gray whales
You
are there.
hear
That,
'em.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you can hear the pistol shrimp.
I'm
I mean,
surprised
it
you don't.
is. When I
Yeah,
stuck my GoPro in, that's all you could hear.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of them, Slater. But Hinden Harbor on certain years you can hear the pistol shrimp. There's so many of them. Yeah, over in your homeland,
Do they have a little gun or what?
they have a claw that does this super fast little snap, and it can create that sound. Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
a mantis shrimp, huh?
they're very similar. Mantis
Ooh,
shrimp.
mantis shrimp versus pistol shrimp.
Shrimp.
The
Shrimp
world's
nerd.
deadliest. Do you think they're related to like crawdads?
Distant relatives.
Somewhere way up the chain.
Freshwater homies?
Did you guys talk about the orca and the sailboats?
No, we didn't.
Where at?
In Spain.
Spain.
What'd it do?
There's this group of killer whales. I was kind of waiting to see what further observations revealed about it because some scientists are trying to track them down now. But there's this group of killer whales that's been ramming boats.
Oh.
And like people are saying that they're like breaking the rudders and disabling vessels and it's happened to multiple boats now, so it wasn't like one boat provoked them and they were just like getting back at him. It's like this weird harassment thing going on.
Oh my gosh, I'm watching the video clip.
What? Of the
Dude,
orca?
the orca is hitting the rudder.
Yeah.
And that you can see the wheel like jerking back and forth, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, they've kind of updated people on that.
Are they actually ramming it or are they just bumping it? Like, they're playing with it. Because maybe the killer whale found out that the rudder moves, and then it's like, you know what I mean? And he's like just pushing it from one side to the other.
Yeah, the new updated articles are saying that this whale probably had incidents with a boat before, and it's it's a thing that's going on.
Dang.
Yeah. But
that's crazy.
I don't think people should expect a whole bunch of orca attacking boats now. It's just
Oh great! Now I'm definitely gonna have to stop calling them killer whales because then it's gonna like.
Katlyn, what are you looking at? You look pretty intense.
I'm reading the latest article that came out. Oh wait, no, this isn't the latest article.
Yeah, there's a later one. Yeah, there's a later one about the details, like why they think it's happening and.
Was that in Marmam?
Yeah. I think it was in Marmam. Yeah, there was a little note. There was a note on it because the world was going around saying, "Oh, they're attacking and all orca are dangerous," but they're trying to bring up that it was more like these few whales and they had a previous incident that probably boat before, and stuff like that.
I'm gonna stump Eric. You ready, Eric?
I don't care if you stump me because I'm a scientist and scientists will never know everything.
Eric, how big is the barrel eye fish?
The barrel eye fish? I don't know my deep water fish, bro. Probably only a few inches.
Yeah, dude. I think at the most it's like 4 inches. It's like centimeters, dude.
Yeah, I know we got them out here in the canyon, but I've never seen one.
Slater texted me that out of the blue. Like he said something. It made no sense. He was like, "What the heck?" The barrel
10 centimeters. You guys know how big 10 centimeters
about?
is?
It's about 3 to 4 inches.
Dude, come on. 10 centimeters?
Well, 30 centimeters is a foot.
My freaking pointer finger is as big as this fish, and they make it zoom. They're so zoomed in that it looks like it's like, 2 feet long or something. Isn't that crazy?
That's
Dude,
why you need.
Come on.
That's why you need lasers on those photos, like the Nautilus has.
And the way they talk about that fish is like it actually can look up through its head and find its prey. It's like, what prey? The prey is so small, I can't even freaking see it. Babe, this fish is actually only 4 inches.
Now he's showing more.
Margot's doing science right now.
She's like, whatever, Slater. I don't have time for this right now.
But you know what's crazy is there's probably been a day where we were driving in the Monterey Bay and we drove over one of those.
Dude,
But
we drove over a lot of cool stuff and we don't know it.
probably
I still
beaked
remember
whale.
probably many times. In fact, my first Barrett's beaked whale, we almost. I mean, that thing just popped up so close to us. We're like, ah.
Dude, think about how many things we've driven over.
I remember my first few days on the Chubasco, and we had that piece of dead squid, just a piece of dead squid that was like 4 feet long and about like 3 inches thick, and JJ wouldn't let me put it on the boat. I was like, JJ, dude, this is like science. It's like, it smells. I was like, oh my God, this is like science. Imagine, okay, that was just a piece of squid, dude, 4 feet long, 3 inches thick. Imagine how big the whole thing was, you know?
Oh, I found the note from Marmam.
Yeah, what did it say?
Since July, 33 interactions of killer whales with sailing boats have been registered, 6 in the Strait of Gibraltar, then 5 on the Portuguese coast, and 21 since mid-August in Galicia, northern Spain. The ones in Galicia are the ones that made the news. The boats that were targeted by killer whales during the interactions were later inspected to be better understand how the interactions occurred and what types of contacts took place. The interactions were mostly limited to the rudder of the boat, with marks found on the hull or signs of physical contact of the animals with the structure of the vessel. Only 15% of the encounters with killer whales were classified as interactions which resulted in some kind of damage to the sailboats. In any of the interactions, people were never endangered by the direct activity of the killer whales. However, some risky situations occurred during nighttime and during long-lasting interactions due to the abrupt movement of the steering wheel or turns of the boat, which caused distress to the crew members due to their lack of experience with killer whales and their behavior. Let's see. They explained the group of people that are working on it. They have more than 700 records of killer whales on the Iberian coast in the last 20 years. The 3 interacting killer whales have been named the Gladys, black, white, and gray, and all were observed from June to August this year in the Strait of Gibraltar. Additionally, 2 of them had already been observed in previous years in that area. In the Strait of Gibraltar, individuals have been observed relatively frequently with injuries caused by friction with fishing lines when they try to steal tuna already hooked on the long lines. And
So these are like some type of offshore killer whale then, huh?
yeah,
They eat fish.
I think I was watching Discovery Channel when I was home, when I was laid off, and they kind of covered some of this when they were actually covering, I think, tuna.
Mm-hmm.
But they talked about this depredation with killer whales and how the fishermen are kind of afraid of them. I don't know.
Hey, didn't they have wasn't there gray whale bones somewhere in like the Middle East?
There were no. Well, that's the thing about bones. I mean, they were in the Atlantic long time ago, and I know every now and then they find gray whale bones along the East Coast. But the latest sightings of gray whales, there was one off of Namibia, and another one off
Where?
Israel, off the coast of Africa, Namibia.
What?
Yeah, that was a few years
You
ago.
think it's one of our gray whales?
Yeah, most likely it crossed over. Yeah, Northwest Passage, right?
And it's just
Yeah, I
living
think
life,
so.
huh?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys, the Strait of Gibraltar is probably pretty cool to go through.
Yeah.
There's a big rock there.
So, just to finish the thought they have there,
Yeah.
the trigger for this strange and novel behavior could have been an adverse incident between these killer whales and a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
At the moment, there is still no clear evidence of when or if that actually happened, and the research group cannot confirm what type of ship could have been involved or if the incident was accidental or intentional.
So they might have either got bumped into a boat or something, and then now they just like think all boats are funkadilly.
Potentially. And it's one specific group of whales.
Wow. You say the Strait of Gibraltar? Just kind of Sounds like a movie or something. You guys want to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah, only if I get to go on a sailboat and something
Whoa.
bumps me.
The Gibraltar airport has a huge rock in it, in front of it.
That's what I just told you. It's no free.
You guys want to go there?
Only on a sailboat with Orca.
Wait, do you think that they have good whale watching?
There is whale watching there. Jamie went when she went to the Barcelona conference.
It's actually really cheap.
They don't
Because,
see whales every trip
hey, listen, it's $600 to fly there.
right now. One
We're
way.
not even allowed. We're not even allowed there, probably.
Yeah,
can-
we're not
you
allowed to
can.
go there right now.
You can fly anywhere. I keep talking to people and they're like, "Yeah, I'm flying out tomorrow." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you just all you have to do is do a COVID test 3 days before you fly. That's it." That's how people are flying out of the country right now.
Yeah, I'm not down.
Any other whale news we forgot about? That's
I don't
important.
think so.
They're seeing 3 humpback whales off Newport Beach.
Same 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's like Chalkboard, Flicka, and
Twitch. Poor whale. It's like hurt and.
I feel bad because you know how the hurt whales go in Newport.
Remember? Well, you already got Ted. Even Ted says, thanks to me and you. Oh, Slater and Eric says Orange County is where humpback's gonna die. He said that during the ACS talk. Remember?
If someone in Newport heard that, they would be so defensive about it. Dude, there has been
But
a
it's
lot of
true.
deaths, and there's been probably, I feel like, more deaths in the recent years in Newport than there has been in
Evergreen,
like Monterey.
Scarlet. Who else? Wally, right? There's like
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Evergreen, I know because I was remember acting really funny.
It's
And
only
then like
3, but still.
yeah, no, there's more. I mean, I just stopped right there. What was the one that they got that was entangled and that was Scarlet, right? That was entangled and.
Well, it's like weird because that whale like completely like replenished her skin and like it was like looking good, and the next thing you know, it's just like knock it.
Goner.
Yeah. So I think that's about it for latest kind of cool news to talk about. Some other little things here, just like updates on things we already knew. Pectoral hurting, we know about that. Northern.
Long since the 3 of us got together and actually did an episode. I'm sure we missed plenty of whale news in the meantime, but life happens.
You know how I filmed humpbacks in Iceland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like 11, like I think there's like 8 or 9 plus in a line, and they're like doing. It's kind of like the trap feeding where they just come up with their pectoral fins forward and they like take a gulp and then they like keep going. It's like they're okay. If you look in the video so closely, there's literally like they're not eating anything. Like it's not like it's like krill where you can, you know what I mean? Because in Monterey, even when it's gloomy, you can still see a patch of krill at the surface. So what are they eating?
I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be krill, right?
Yeah, if you can't see this krill, I mean, they're not going to lunge for no reason. Like you just
That's what I'm saying. It's so weird.
They're not going to waste energy and calories, doing
but
something.
You literally can't
no
see
reason.
anything.
It's probably krill. Maybe your Phantom needs a special lens to pick up krill.
No, because I have that video of them in the gloomy water where it's a big circle of krill. Oh, that's some of the best. That is literally the best lunge feeding you could possibly get because it's so easy. You just literally go like within, like you just find the next little circle of krill that's within like so many feet of the humpback, and then it just like and it's been in the same line, and it's just like gulp, like Pac-Man. Gulp. Where like as anchovies, like you don't know if they're gonna come up in the middle of it, on the edge of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they just kind of go wherever they please with the big school of anchovies.
Yeah.
The krill, they just eat the whole thing.
If it's patchy.
Yeah, patchy krill's the best krill.
For filming with the drone.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I saw common dolphin again the other day. I was so happy.
Yeah, but you weren't in Monterey.
I wasn't, I know, but I was still really happy to see common dolphin again and in like big numbers. And I saw a flying fish and a blue shark. I was like, yay, warm waters.
Flying fish in Monterey? Dang.
No, when I was in the Channel Islands.
Wait, what? You
Eric
went down
snuck
south?
Down and went out with Island Packers.
I went to
nice.
Santa Cruz Island and crossing there. I saw Yeah, flying fish. I was like, yay! Haven't seen you in like 5 years. So that was cool.
That's
and
awesome.
I went to Del Taco twice because.
That's not true. You saw flying fish in Hawaii, didn't you?
Did I? I don't think so.
I feel like you did. How could you not have?
I've
did?
seen a lot of flying fish this summer.
I don't think I've seen it. I didn't see them in Hawaii. I saw everything else like barracuda and octopus and
Dude,
dorado.
like every time we leave, there's flying fish.
I don't know. Maybe you
All right.
scared them.
I'm signing you guys off.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm glad we all got back together. I hope we can do it on a more regular basis, but we'll see what happens. My season's over in like 2 more weeks, and I don't know what my plan is. So
Maybe you should come to
on my
Monterey.
all-day trip on
Oh yeah,
November 8th.
come here to Monterey. Yeah, exactly.
I won't be quarantined by then, I don't think.
We have
What do you
whales
mean
year round
quarantined?
here.
Well, if I'm driving across the country,
Oh, you got time. You're good. Just don't stop anywhere.
Wear a mask.
that's pretty tight turnaround. If my last trip's on November 1st, like only gives me a week to get there.
Just
That's
freaking
easy.
show up, Caitlin. God dang it. What, babe? Yeah, your truck is turbocharged, Margo said.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, thanks for podcasting with me. Caitlin, you better show up. And Eric and I should have some cool stuff to talk about after the all-day trip on Sunday.
Yes.
Slater, are you flying? Are you flying, driving when you?
Oh, I'm driving, dude.
Okay, I'll see you Saturday then. And then
No, yeah, I'm gonna go. All right, where do you work on Saturday?
Blue Ocean.
You're unplugged. I can't hear you.
Oh, I pulled my cord out, yo. I was playing with the cord and I pulled it out. Saturday. Okay, yeah, I'll see you on. I'm coming up Friday, so we'll probably get dinner or something Friday night.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Me, you, Lee, or something. And I know Adam's coming. I think he's coming the day of on Sunday because his friend needs a ride or something. So.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, have fun, you guys. I hope you have good sightings.
Oh, you mean you're not coming, Caitlin?
This Sunday? No, I'm supposed to work.
Loser. I just did that in sign language.
If you leave now, you'd get here on time.
Yeah.
No, I would not.
You could get here in 5 days. Don't lie to us.
Also, I need
We
to
know
get
math.
paid for the last few trips of the season.
Don't you have direct deposit?
She's not in Oregon.
Yeah, but I have to work them to get paid.
But coming here, you'll be closer to Oregon, to home. You should come here.
Stop, you guys.
Thank you so much for listening to the Whale Nerds podcast. Glad to
Yes.
be back. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram or Facebook, it's Whale Nerds. And we're on like iTunes, Podbean, what else?
Pandora,
Spotify.
Yeah, so
Stitcher, Google Podcasts.
you name
Pretty
it.
much
we're on
wherever
it.
you get your podcast.
YouTube's.
YouTube. So.
Turkeyburger.com.
And thanks to our Patreon supporters, as always, for supporting our work.
Yeah.
And if you want to do something for the podcast, but you can't support us on Patreon, leave us a review somewhere or share the podcast with a friend. That would be my request.
Woo! Thank you guys. Thanks for
Thank
still
you.
listening if you're listening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.